Morning, Brian.
Good morning. I'm still trying to make our video live here.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't grasp why. It says you have blocked camera access. No,
I have not. How do I? Oh, hold on. Oh, there we go. I got it. I must, yeah. When I last used it, hold on. How come?
Okay, there we go. I've got
There
you.
we go.
But I still don't have Facebook Live, and I don't know why. And I guess for this meeting, it's not that much of a deal.
Okay.
Certainly
All right,
will be in the future.
Okay. And I'll be right back.
Sure.
Oh.
Good morning. Can you hear me there?
I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, mute.
Oh, there we go. Here's the agenda.
Very good. Well, as soon as I take attendance, then I'll put the agenda back on the screen.
Yeah, and you got the attendance sheet from me, right?
I did, yes, that's what we're looking at. Can you see it on your screen?
No, I see the agenda, not the attendance sheet.
Why would that be? Okay, well, at least you see the agenda. Don't worry about the agenda. I'm the one that has to see the attendance sheet.
Yeah. Good morning to everybody that's joining us.
So far, it looks like it's you, me, Gary, Jay, Mike Wood. That's about it.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Dan Armentrout is here.
Good
Dan.
morning.
I think I'm going to disconnect for some reason. I didn't get my camera to line up. This is Dan. I'm going to try again.
Sure.
Can you guys hear me?
We can see you and hear you.
You can see me and hear me both?
Yep.
You probably don't want to see me. Maybe I should just turn my video off.
No, don't do that.
How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
Good. It's good seeing you, Brian.
Good, yeah, well, nice to see you.
You gotta love technology. Works out nice.
Can you guys hear me?
Thanks.
Oh, I can hear you, Russ. I don't get to see you.
I thought the video was on.
Oh,
There
there you
you-
are.
there
There's
it is.
Russ.
All right.
All right.
It happened to me too. For some reason, camera was off, so I had to put it back on.
Nice. All right. I think we got, what, a couple more minutes before we start?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. Let me go grab one more thing real quick.
Maya, did you get a haircut?
Yes, I did.
It looks nice.
It's way shorter, much better for me too.
Yeah. Nice summer hairstyle.
Yeah, don't do anything with it.
So Josh, when you leave, are you going to send us all your new phone number or email so we can call you or text you if we ever need something? Or
You
email
know where I'm going, they don't have phones and email, so
Hey, you know, the old out west you're going, you know.
that's right.
You got like
Yeah,
a telegraph
send that
station
to you.
number?
I'll have to send it to you, and just in case.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't figured out my email address yet, so
You don't have a Gmail or anything?
I don't.
What?
Very
Wow.
cagey about that, Josh.
What's that?
You're very cagey about that whole, you can contact me in the future thing.
Yeah.
Fun to
Sure,
play
you can reach me at josh@gmail.com.
Excuse me.
Hi, Dan.
Yep.
Josh, tell me this is a vacation, not a permanent. What's going on, buddy?
No, I'm leaving the city. I'm going back out west to Washington State. So
Oh, congratulations.
thanks. So this is actually my last meeting with the Matt's technical group. So
Okay.
yeah.
We
So
shall miss you.
It gets us a little closer to
Yes.
family. Instead of 36 hours of driving, will only be a couple hours of driving. So
You know, they have things called airplanes, Josh. It's okay to take them.
I don't know, man.
I know as a city engineer, you feel obligated to take a car, but it's
That's
okay
right.
once in a while.
You know, the fun part about driving is I can point out all the stuff to my kids, right? Like, hey, here's a construction zone, and let's loop through that construction zone again so we can take a look at it again. And, you know, so see how everybody does it in different places. You know, in Wyoming, they just put freeway traffic, you know, on the same, just separated by barrels. You know, they move everybody over to one side of the freeway and one lane each direction with barrels only separating them. So
Yeah, I was amazed in Hawaii what they do for their work zones too. It's like the same thing. It's incredible
Yeah.
what they can
Yeah.
get away with.
yep. All right. Well, I think we're 10 o'clock. That's what I'm showing. So I think we'll start the meeting. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming to our Midland Area Transportation Study Technical Committee meeting. Today, Wednesday, August 19th. And let's see, I think, Brian, do you have the roll? Do you want to run through the roll call for us?
Sure thing. All right. Josh,
Here.
Russ,
Present.
Jay Reithel,
Here,
Mitch Huber, Jan Jurgens, Gary Rogers,
Here.
Eric Sprague, Maria Sandow,
Here.
Mike Wood,
Here.
Kevin Ray, Kim Lillo, Dan Armentrout,
Present.
Thor Brecht,
Here.
and I see Anita has joined us as well. Anita, are you Mitch today?
Yes, I am Mitch today. He is unable to attend today.
All right. That's it, Josh.
All right, perfect. Thank you. So let's see. Are there any changes to the agenda that we need to discuss or talk about?
No, there are no changes to the agenda.
Okay, perfect. Next item, item 3, the approval of the May 27, 2020 minutes. Any,
I
Go
see a
ahead.
correction that needs to be made
okay,
on, it's page 4, section C. It's like the last line in the paragraph. I think the motion was made by Josh and seconded by me.
Okay, I'll fix that.
Thanks.
all right. Any other changes there? Can we get a motion to approve the minutes as amended?
So moved.
Got a first,
Reithel support.
a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 We'll give it a second. Are there any opposed? Hearing none, well, that's approved. Thanks for that. We'll go on to the reports of officers. We'll just go down the list of the agencies here. We'll start with me and then go to the Road Commission, MDOT, and go down the list from there. So City of Midland, we don't have any local agency projects going right now. We've got our Saginaw Road project that will be, that's with MDOT at this point. Got the approvals for that, but that's a funding of starting October 1st. So it'll construct next year. And then we've just got our local street projects, major street projects. We've got a pretty big project going on Eastman. That's about the second week we're into it up by the mall. So traffic was pretty fun during the first week, and it's kind of quieted down at this point. So we've made some changes with traffic control and work with MDOT, and I appreciate their flexibility on working with us on that. So that's it for me. Russ, you want to take the county?
Yep. Our Eastman Road urban project is moving forward. It starts at the city limit, Commerce Drive, and goes up, goes to Blackhurst. Although the major construction items are south from Monroe Road south. So that's progressing. People are allowed to drive north through that construction zone. Southbound traffic is detoured. So I'm sure the people have been showing the love to Josh and their peoples over there about the detour. Our rural task force paving jobs are all completed. We're just tying up loose ends on those. We are continuing our 2017 flood repair projects. There's a package of 13 locations bundled into one, and we're progressing on that, and that's moving nicely. We're finishing up building, the road commission forces are at our expense, finishing up building a new bridge on Meridian Road over Bullet Creek. So that should hopefully be open by the end of next week. And all of our flood damages from this year, for the federal aid eligible roadways, or FHWA eligible repairs, all those DDIRs, the detailed damage inventory reports, are going to be submitted probably by the end of today. So hopefully, if with fingers crossed, our major Curtis Road Bridge and then the Village of Sanford Saginaw Road Bridge and roadway will hopefully those will be able to start working on soon. So that's all I have.
Russ, I have a question. How about 8 Mile Road? Where's that stand?
It's going to be, we're applying for FEMA funds on that, but also USDA funds. So that's not going to probably be as fast as the FHWA. FHWA pretty much is a ton faster than FEMA. USDA though, FHWA is faster than FEMA. USDA that's a new system for us, and we're optimistic that they'll be a lot faster than FEMA. So we're going to go. Likely we'll go with those funds because that will result in that roadway being restored faster. And both FEMA and USDA have this 25% local match requirement. So if we can make it, expedite it, and get it open, that's our goal.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for that update, Russ. MDOT Jay, is there anything for you to share with us?
Kim Hill's on the line. I'll defer to Kim.
Good morning. Just a few updates for you. US 10BR at Wackerly, we're partnering with the city on that one. RFP closed on the 10th, so we're working to solicit consultants. We received 4 proposals for that one, Josh, so that's good. And then M20 from M30 to Curry Parkway, I'll have the RFP posted within the next month. So we'll get started on design for that early this year or early next year, late this year. So, and then the one-way pair reconstruct in the city of Midland for our US 10BRs. We're still working with the consultant on that. to get them under contract. We didn't have construction funding available for that, so it's not as high on the priority list, but we still want to get the design done on that one and have it ready as a shelf project.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Kim, for that update. I didn't hear, is Jan on for DART?
No.
Okay. Gary, you want to talk about County Connection? I thought Gary was here.
He was.
You're muted, Gary.
I thought I was open. There I am.
Oh, there you are, Gary.
Everything's pretty much been hit since all of this is going on. We're still way down on rides, and we still have people laid off. Unfortunately, we haven't seen any real uptick since July yet. Hoping for some of it when school starts. I'm not sure how that's going to go. The millage that passed in August, which was a good thing for us, and we're looking forward to actually getting everybody back to work and hopefully get some normalcy again. That's it.
All right. Thanks, Gary. Was Eric on?
No.
Okay. Maria, do you have anything for Larkin Township that you want to talk about?
No, I think everything's good in Larkin Township.
All righty. And Mike, about Jerome?
No, we're all good. Thank you.
All right. And Kevin, anything for Lincoln? Maybe Kevin wasn't on. Okay. Jim, you want to talk about Bay County?
Yeah, the two projects we have in the Knox area, Garfield Road, Hotchkiss to US 10, that started. It's slated for an August 30th finish.
Jim, can you speak up a little bit? I'm having trouble hearing. Anybody else having trouble hearing?
Oh, yeah.
Better?
A little bit. Can anybody hear Jim?
No.
No.
I think you're still showing that you're here, Jim. Right? Can you hear us, Jim? Okay, we'll come back to Jim if he gets back. I don't know if he's still on or not. Saginaw County, Dan.
Our Freeland Road roundabout project's going pretty good. Everything's moving along as anticipated there, so that's looking good. And for the 2017 flood stuff, we got our DDIRs in for all our stuff with Federal Highways earlier this week. So keeping our fingers crossed there. Things are looking good. So
good. Thanks, Dan.
Is your about finished now, Dan? I see there's a sign saying all lanes open.
For the roundabout?
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, we had a period there where we had all lanes open, but no, we're doing the bypass. The bypass lane's done now, and we're switching to the temporary signals today.
Nice.
Don't go that way, Ross. Don't go that way.
I just see the sign every morning that says all lanes open, the digital sign.
Sure.
All right. Thanks for that update. Thor, anything on the non-motorized side that you want to talk about?
There were a couple of projects that were left over from the last batch I had to review. One was South Saginaw Road in Midland, and the other was Salzburg Road in Bay County. I talked to Jim and I talked to Josh about those a little bit, and I've gone ahead and approved them from my standpoint. So I don't know if we need to work them through the rest of the committee or so on that, Brian.
Oh, nope, that's good. If you could just get them to me.
Okay. Yeah, I got that information to you back in mid-July.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Thor.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, that's great. Thanks, everybody. Did I miss anybody, or is Jim back on?
Looks like Jim's gone.
Okay.
If I can add something, so based on our listing of program projects, all local road projects have bbeen obligated this year. Our allocation was actually a little bit higher than what was programmed, and we found that out relatively late. And unfortunately, by that time, all the STL projects were already pretty much obligated if either in a kind of late process of obligation or already obligated, so we weren't able to utilize that 56,000. So that's 56,000 is going into our carryover funds.
56,000.
Yes.
Wow.
That was basically the difference between what we were allowed to program and what our later on when appropriations came out, what our allocation actually turned out to be. Then in terms of there's still a couple of projects that are not obligated yet. They are still being in a process of being obligated, and those are the safety projects where the funding is HRRR and HSIP, but I understand that they are being processed, and I have every reason to believe that they will be obligated by September 30th.
Yeah, we're working on the right away on one, and we're just finalizing a couple details.
Yeah, and transit projects, they always get obligated right before the end of a fiscal year. So it's actually normal that they are not being shown as obligated yet, because that's a process that OPT has, that they always obligate them right before the end of a fiscal year.
All right. Thanks, Maya, for that update.
Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing. The Aramark repurposing. There was a project within Midland County that still has an Aramark, and based on conversations with Road Commission and MDOT, it was decided that Aramark is going to stay put. It does not expire. Once there's only one chance to repurpose an Aramark. So decision was made to not to chance it and kind of allow enough time to kind of repurpose it to an appropriate project down the line in a future. And I believe there are also a couple of projects within Bay County and Saginaw County. So I'm sure those road commissions are talk with their MPOs and regarding repurposing. They can also repurpose to projects within our MPO also. So we can always talk about that, and that can be done next year. That's it.
Thanks, Maya. On to the agency report. Maya, is that you?
Hey, Josh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jim Lillo is online now, it looks like.
Oh, is Jim on? Jim, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
A little bit better. You want to go ahead and give an update, Jim?
Sure. The fact that you can't hear me has not been a request that I've usually had with my big mouth. Garfield Road, Hotchkiss to US 10 is underway. It's got an August 30th finish. The other one in Williams Township with Salzburg, 11 mile to Garfield, is open to traffic. Basically punch list items. Overall, we had 11 major paving projects. We got 2 bridges that are under construction right now and upgraded signals. So that's it for this year. We had a big year, and it's been stressful. So like everybody else.
Yep.
So other than that, that's all I got.
All right. Thanks, Jim.
Oh, I was going to mention, Josh, we did activate our Hawk signal.
Oh yeah, how's that working out?
Good so far.
Yeah?
Yep.
Nice. Good to hear. Good public response, or
Yes, huge. Yes, very positive.
that's great. That's great. Yeah, they work out nicely when in the right spot. So
Yep,
good to hear.
Have you done any community training on how the Hawk signal works?
absolutely. We had, we printed 500 flyers. We put it all over every media we could get. And one of the assisted living places, the ladies and guys went out on intersection corners and Myers and some of the other assisted living driveway entrances and handed them out. So we had a robust public information education campaign.
Good.
Great.
It's great to hear. All right, Maya, you want to give an agency update or agency report for Matt?
Absolutely. So we've been pretty busy over the past couple of months. We continue working on long range planning. We've been in coordination with SUDA regarding update of the Great Lakes Bay region model. We have been processing tip changes, any changes and adjustments to the projects. We have completed the Title VI plan update, and that goes in front of the policy for approval. We've been asked by the feds during our pre-WP meeting to look at that and if possible do an update. So we have done that. In terms of PASER ratings, the federal PASER ratings were definitely no go this year, and actually same goes for the local PASER ratings. Upon discussion with the city and the road commission, those agencies decided not to do local PASER ratings this year. In terms of COVID-19, there had been some issues, so that's what was decided. We have received recently notification from TAMC that our MTF allocation that we receive each year for PASER ratings and asset management, that is going to be extended to June of next year, so we can actually do those PASER ratings in a spring. One kind of surprising and potentially unfortunate thing that we just found out is that we may not be able to reimburse the road commission for the asset management plan that they are preparing this year and that it's due by October. TAMC is actually having discussions about that, but we may not be able to reimburse you for that. I know we were counting on that, but we are impatiently awaiting TAMC decision on that.
That makes absolutely no sense.
I agree, but there's unfortunately in our UWP, it doesn't specify that we can reimburse you for it, and so therefore they're kind of taking a different, looks like they're taking different approach, but nothing is for sure yet. They are discussing this issue, and the decision will be coming out shortly.
All right.
All right. Also, what we are doing is we have prepared a performance dashboard. We've been asked to do that kind of last year by the Fed, so we have done it. We have started working on the non-motorized plan update. Our non-motorized plan is pretty old by now. I think we've done it 14, 15. So what we are doing right now is we kind of had some talks internally of how we would like to structure it and what we would like to have in it, because our kind of first non-motorized plan was kind of very basic, and so we would like to include more information in terms of what the potential facilities could be, what are the benefits of having on the motorized plan and having facilities. So we're kind of including all that. Obviously, it will involve updating all the all the projects, both in terms of wanted, desired future projects, and also maps showing existing project. So one thing regarding that, we would like to know whether you just want us to send all this information to entire technical board, or whether you would like to resurrect the non-motorized subcommittee.
I would think we'd want the non-motorized subcommittee, but my thoughts.
Obviously, it's up to you to kind of make the decision how you want to proceed on that item.
Yeah, I think that non-motorized subcommittee worked out fairly well to get the input and to kind of go through the details on that and bring that back. So I'd be in favor of that myself. I don't know if there's other discussion or other thoughts on that.
What was the membership of the subcommittee?
So it was a person from the city of Midland. There was a representative from the 3 road commissions. There was heavy representation from Tittabawassee Township, because I think there were like 2 or 3 members from Tittabawassee Township, and I believe there was 1 or 2 more townships that were represented on it, and obviously the non-motorized representative.
Okay, I think it sounds fine.
All right, I'll send kind of a notice to everybody on non-motorized, and we'll proceed. The one other thing that I wanted to bring out is at the policy meeting, there started a discussion on potential synchronizations of elections for officers, for technical and policy committees. By now, we have 3 different terms of office for different officers, so it being 1 year, 2 year, and 3 year. And also by now we have 4 or 5 different times during the year when we do those elections. So it's kind of becoming very messy. So what we have brought that up at the policy meeting that occurred on August 4th, but we didn't, which was it was a non-quorum meeting. So obviously all the items and all the discussions have been put forward to the next meeting. But I just wanted to let everybody know about that. And if you have any suggestions or comments, please either bring them at the policy meeting, or I'll send us some kind of email, and we can forward that to all the members of a policy meeting. But what we are looking to do is we are looking to kind of simplify things a little bit and be done, in one time period in a year for all the positions, and if we can do it in like kind of 1 term of office, like maybe for everybody 2 years, that would simplify things a lot.
Okay, so do you need anything from us on that, or do we need to? What are you looking for from us on that? Anything?
Well, if you have any suggestions or comments or support for any for synchronization, please send that to either to me, so I can forward that to policy, or directly to the policy members, however you would like to do that.
Okay.
Because obviously that's that discussion affects your board, affects technical board. So if you are in agreement of synchronization, I think that would go a long way towards policy being able to make that decision, on behalf, not only themselves, but on behalf of you, for you, for technical also.
All righty. Thanks, Maya, for the agency report on that. I think I skipped over Jan, or she wasn't here when I asked. Jan, are you still online? Is there an update for DART that you want to provide to the group?
The only update is that we have finished our annual grant process through the Federal Transit Administration, and all of our grants have been awarded, including the CARES Act grant. The CARES Act grant was one where we received a lump sum allocation from the federal government, but we did not have to put any of the information into the TIP. And so none of that information is going to be part of the TIP process.
Okay.
That's it.
Thanks. All right, I think we're on to unfinished and new business. Maya, are you taking the TIP amendment one?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
In a supplemental package that you received with the notice of a meeting, there is a spreadsheet showing the 4 amendments. 2 of them pertain to MDOT projects, and 2 of them pertain to county connection projects. So for the MDOT project, regarding the US 10 business route at Wackerly Road, there was a cost adjustment on that project, and therefore this is a 2022 projects. So therefore that's why it's an amendment. That cost adjustment was high enough that it's not an administrative modification, it's an amendment. So the federal budget has increased to just under 730,000, with state budget of about 143,000 and local budget of 18,000, for the grand total of just under $900,000 for that project. And then the other MDOT project is the several bridge CPMs at various locations that include 3 locations in Matt's area. That project it's actually change request number 14. That project it was going to go in year 2020. It was suspended because of I believe that the bids came in much higher. So now this project is being resurrected for year 2021 with adjusted funding. So the total phase cost for this project is about just over $700,000. So it's a kind of an old project that's showing up as new project because of because it was suspended earlier. And then regarding the 2 county connection projects, one pertains to transit capital, the other one pertains to transit operating, and it's funding that's received through 5310 funds. So it's kind of a different funding source that County Connection of Midland normally receives. Basically those are it's a new thing. So those are the 2 new projects that are being added, and also because they're new projects, it's an amendment.
All right, any discussion about the TIP amendment?
I got a question on the 2 new transportation projects. Is this something that we would do an MT form on, or not on this type of project?
No, we have discussed that, and for transit projects, we have made an adjustment, and for transit projects, we don't need to do an MT. For one of those projects, it's a transit operating fund, so it's not even, it's a project, but it's not anything that's physically on the roadways, and for the other project is for a bus. So I think the adjustment that we made about a year or so ago, that transit projects don't need to go for the NMT process.
Okay.
All right. Any other discussion? Do we have a motion for approval of the TIP amendment?
So moved.
Second, Rogers.
We got a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? None?
Could somebody reconfirm who made that motion? Or who made that motion?
I did. Ross.
Okay, thanks.
All righty.
And then a second portion of amendment is approval of thresholds amounts for GPAs. As a result of those two new transit projects that are 5310 funded, there are two new GPAs that have been created, and what's required is approval of their thresholds. So for the transit capital GPA, that threshold, the new threshold, it's $887,446. And for transit operating, the new threshold is $5,119,398. So basically, there were previous thresholds that there are other projects that are within those GPAs. We just basically, by adding those two projects, we need to up the threshold of those two GPAs. Now, there's also a third GPA which threshold needs to be approved, and it's actually the very old year. It's a year 2017. And that threshold is 72,000. What has happened? The Office of Passenger Transportation had to make changes to 2017 projects because there were some funds left over there, but they needed to tie those funds to the new FTA grant for those funds to be able to be utilized this year by DART as part of the 2020 project. And by making those adjustments to that 17 project, that triggered the threshold amendment for the GPA. So we would like you to approve that threshold of 72,000. So it doesn't, even though it has, that year has long gone by, but we just basically want to be able to clear our to-do list in JobNet and not have that GPA there sitting from now on. We just would like to send it to the FTA, have them approve that threshold, and it be kind of vanish from our to-do list.
So is that funding that's already been spent from 2017? Or?
No, this is actually, the 70,000 is the funding that has been spent. Originally, that GPA was higher because there was some left, there was some addition, there was more funding in it that has now been removed and put as a small new job in 2020. But by adjusting that number in a 17 project, that number went down, and unfortunately triggered that threshold that FTA and technical and policy need to approve on the local side here. It's just the way JobNet is set up.
Yep. Any discussion or questions on this item?
So we're approving all three of these then, not
Yes, please.
All
yes.
Right. I'll make the motion that we approve all three proposed amendments.
I'll second.
So we got a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 And any opposed? Hearing none, GPA thresholds are adjusted. Thank you, Maya. On to item 6B, Matt's long-range plan. Maya, is that you as well, or is?
Yes, that is me as well.
Okay.
So basically what's happening, we have a requirement to update our long range plan by March 2022. So we are working on that. The first portion of that work involves helping, coordinating with SUDA as they update the Great Lakes Bay region travel demand model. So if you probably remember, we have brought to you the base 2017 data, which include population, household, employment data, and you guys have looked at that and approved those numbers. So now what we are working on now with SUDA is basically the growth rates for the future all the way to 2045. And the resulting volumes after we figure out the growth rates. The SUDA is also doing the calibration of a model. We have gone over the timeline and adjusted the timeline because of COVID-19. Things have kind of got a little bit more complicated. Even development of those growth rates is much more complicated because what's happened, what has happened, what is gonna happen in terms of retail growth rates, employment growth rates. It's kind of messy. So we're kind of working. We're kind of working on several of those items. Now, what we need to do in addition to that, that we need to coordinate with you, are the following needs. We need to look at and derive the list of the capacity projects that needs to be modeled. So basically, we are going to be sending to you the previous list of capacity projects that we did in a previous for the previous model, for the previous previous long range plan, and we are going to be asking you to look at those projects, see whether it still makes sense to model all those projects, which, what projects need to be added to be modeled, which projects can be removed because, they are no longer viable or applicable. So that we'll be asking for you to do. Also, we'll be contacting some of you regarding new and proposed substantial developments on both in terms of residential and commercial uses for years 2018 and later. I know we have had some things that have happened within the city and outside of the city in a neighboring townships that's pretty significant. So we would like to, we do need to account for that in the model. And then we also need to know from 2018 on if there are any network adjustments in terms of kind of if there are any capacity improvements. For example, things that are happening right now along Eastman by US 10, we need to account for that in a network. So we kind of need to obtain the list of all those changes that have either already happened since 18 or are expected to happen within the next few years. So we'll be basically talking with you about those three items.
So you're going to send out those requests to the individual road agencies, and is that what I heard?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Okay. So at this point, any questions of Maya at this item at this point? Comments?
Here's a question to Brian. Can you bring up that file? I'm having problems within the cloud with that PDF. It's giving me some kind of.
The modeled potential capacity extension.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope, yours is clean. Must be on my end.
So these were the capacity projects that we modeled when we were preparing our previous long range plan in 2016. So if all of you take a few minutes and look at that list and make kind of some notes and send the revisions to us, we would very much appreciate. We'll kind of put it all together and then send you the updated list so everybody can see it. So
Okay.
then we can forward that to MDOT to SUDA division.
Okay.
And I know Katie is online, and I was wondering whether Katie has any other comments.
I was muted, but I also don't have any. I think you covered it really well. If anyone has any questions about like what we mean by capacity or anything, I'm happy to address that. But just looking at this list, I think it seems like everyone has a good understanding of what that means. New roads, new lanes, those kind of improvements.
Capacity reductions.
Yes, yes.
That too, yes.
There's a road guide
That's
on.
probably more accurate.
Notice
Yes,
that?
even increases in capacities in terms of new lanes or decreases in capacity.
Yes.
All righty. Any other discussion or comments? All right, so I think we're on to item 6C, election of technical committee chair for the remainder of the term. Mai, you want to talk about that one or run us through that process?
All right, so unfortunately, we are losing our chair, Josh Fredrickson, because he has accepted the position, which we're very happy for him, but unfortunately it's bad for us. It's been bad for Mats. So we do need to, so we are going to have, in a few days, we are going to have a vacancy regarding the technical committee chair. And we do need to elect a chair for the remainder of a term.
So can you say how long the term lasts?
I believe it is at this moment is till March 2021, unless the policy enacts the changes that I mentioned under the potential synchronization of elections for officers. But right now, the remainder of a term of office is from now till March 2021.
Does vice chair just assume the responsibility and you need to elect a new vice chair? Yeah, Russ.
We still need, then we would need a vice chair because if one is not available during those meetings, the other runs the meeting. So we still need two people to be elected officers.
See what you're putting us through, Josh? This is ridiculous. I have no problem if you guys want me to be chair. I have no problem with that, but that's your decision.
I would propose Russ step as chair then, from vice chair, and then
I would support that.
yeah, we need a vice chair.
Are there any volunteers?
Let me propose this. What if I'm retiring in March? What if I fulfill the rest of Josh's term as chair and then we won't have to re-elect another vice chair? Or did I misunderstand that?
No, that's a viable option. So that's, I mean, there are several options here. So it's all what you guys decide, which option you guys would decide to go with.
My feelings aren't hurt if you don't want me. It's okay.
So I think we have a couple options on the table. Any other thoughts, comments?
Got a lot of people on here and not talking.
Pretty quiet.
Okay, works for me. So moved.
Which one? There's a couple.
Which option?
Which,
What Janet said. To fulfill and then not elect, or not have to elect. Was that even one of the options, or was I sleeping?
No, Jan proposed that.
Why is Lisa there?
I can just withdraw my motion, then that's fine. Whatever you choose to do.
Jay, don't get mad at me.
Oh, I'm not, Jim, it's okay.
Dan Armentrout, I support that motion.
Okay, so if I understand this correctly, the motion and the support is to have Jan Jurgens fulfill the remainder of the term as chair, and Russ Inman will stay vice chair. Is that what I understood? Okay.
That's how I understand it.
Yes.
Okay. Is this something we need to vote on, Maya? Is that what is that correct, or?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a motion, there's a second. So all in favor?
Aye.
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 And are there any opposed? All right, the motion carries. So does that mean Jan gets to carry the rest of this, or do I need to finish this out?
I
You gotta
think you need
finish
to
it
finish
out.
it out.
All right, so public comments and responses. I don't know if we have any public comment either on Zoom, and I think I saw a Facebook link out there. Brian, do we have any public commentary?
No, we have no comments whatsoever.
Okay. So seeing that, we
How about-
are adjourned. I just want to thank everybody for your support and your work and efforts on the Mets in this technical committee. It's been a great opportunity and pleasure working with each of you and working on the projects, and I really appreciate that. So I know you guys are going to continue to do great things, and it's a great place to be, and I really appreciate this opportunity. But it's been great working with you, and with that, we'll adjourn. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, Josh,
Thanks, Josh. Good luck.
All right,
any
thanks.
idea on your replacement yet?
What's that?
Any idea or word on if?
I need to get downstairs and talk to the HR department and see where they're at with that. I know it's posted. I don't know where they're at with reviewing anything like that. So if you're looking for a job, it's a great job. So fill out an application. Great place. So
no doubt.
Hey, Josh, I enjoyed working with you, and
Thanks,
the emails back and forth.
well,
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Best wishes, Josh.
Thank you.
Good luck, Josh.
Thanks, guys. It's been great.
Yeah, best of luck, Josh.
What's that?
Brian said best of luck.
Oh, thanks, Brian. I didn't catch it. All right.
Josh, you still owe me money.